Hey, it's Johar. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a hot minute since I updated, but this video I've been planning on doing for a while. I just hadn't. Um, and I'm in my Halloween costume. Um, I am Khaleesi Dagon from my series, my current series, The Realm Monsters. She's my main character, and she is a vampire. And she is fierce, and I love her. So I thought it'd be fun to dress up as her. No one else will understand it, but I will, and that makes me happy. um, but the reason why I decided to do this video now for Halloween is because it's from a horror book series. So I've done a few characters where I explain why I thought they were AroAce. I know I've done Claudine Wolf from the original Monster High series franchise because I know a lot of people say she's a lesbian, but she always gave me more AroAce vibes than she gave me lesbian vibes, which I would accept an AroAce lesbian because I am an AroAce lesbian, so I can totally headcanon her as an AroAce lesbian, which I think I mentioned in that video. But I think I did one for Elsa too. I might be wrong, but I know a lot of people want Elsa to be a lesbian, but I see her more as AroAce because I don't see her dating women, men. I don't care. I don't see her dating, so I see her more as an AroAce. I know a lot of people is always like, we need to headcanon these people and lesbian gays, which is good because I do it too. But we need more AroAce representation. And I look at Elsa and Claudine, and I don't see them as lesbians. I see them as AroAce because they don't seem interested in dating. It's not that they don't seem interested in men; they just don't seem interested in dating. I'm like, yes, we need more of that representation, anyways. Um, but from so I know the author who wrote this series. It's called the Mantis Gland series, and uh, one thing he does in this particular series is he doesn't very few characters he actually says like what their sexual orientation is. He leaves a lot of it up for viewers to decide. Um, I know because my favorite character from book one, Agrel, um, I I don't really know if I headcanon her as a lesbian or maybe bisexual or pansexual. Actually, I can kind of see her as pansexual. I could, but I shipped her a lot with this other woman, Lahari. Um, based on events in the book, which I will not explain without spoiling a huge plot point at the end. They do not end up together, but I still think there was something between them, and I do think they had real romantic feelings for each other. So, um, there you go. So I had canon her as not straight for sure because and same with Lahari because I definitely thought there was something between them and I definitely had a feeling they were gonna get together. Obviously they didn't, but I still think they could have and should have. But one of the other amazing characters and definitely in my top favorite characters is Dozi. Um, and she I had canon as Arrow Ace. She just gave me the vibes from pretty early on, like she doesn't seem interested in dating, period. And she's very much of a loner type, which obviously not all arrow aces are, cause I'm not. But she is kind of a loner at first until she meets Agrel and Elia. Um, and then because all these characters they start meeting, like at first it's the three of them and a little bit of the mystic and his husband and Lahari. But then each book, a couple characters are introduced and they become close to them, and then they become this huge found family, kind of giving me Fast and Furious vibes. I finally just watched the 10th movie, and it's all about family. And I swear, each movie, the family gets a little bit bigger, and it's all about protecting the found family they have found within each other. And I just now made a connection because I literally just watched that movie. So, gives me a little of those vibes because it's the huge found family. Each book, they meet a couple more people which become part of this found family, and they all love each other and will do anything to protect one another. Um, but Dozi, she's one of them that's been on since book one, and I love her character. She's fierce, and there's this one scene in particular I absolutely love that is one of the first to come in mind when Mystic calls Agrel a heroine, and the Dozy snaps at him, and she's like, uh, she says how it's bogus to call her a heroine because females can't be heroes, so you have to come up with a new word for it. And Mystic's like, I always knew there was a reason why I hated that word, and it was just a perfect scene. Like, I just love Dozy so much. Like, she's an icon, and um, there I can't even know if I know how to explain why I just get the airways vibes from her. I mean, for one, she seems more interested in friends and family rather than dating boyfriends, girlfriends, no matter who. Just dating, period. Which same. um, and there is a scene when like it is stated that like everyone's waking up in the house and she's the only one in a bed completely by herself, and I'm like, okay. um that does give some AroAce vibes, like she's the only one not in a relationship. It kind of implies that maybe everybody's paired off and she's just not. And I could see it. Like I could literally see everybody being paired off one of these days, married, whatever, and she's just living her best life, doing whatever she always does. And I'm like, I'm there for that. But Dozy is an icon. I love her. She's so fierce and strong and independent. And you can be all those stuff in a romantic relationship, obviously. But there's just something about her that I just don't see ever wanting to be in a relationship. Like I just don't see her having that kind of attraction, whether it's sexual or romantic. I don't see it. Like I don't think I could ever picture her in a romantic relationship at all ever. So I really hope that she doesn't, which I don't think she will, because the series isn't big on the romantic relationships. They are very much side relationships. Like I think the only ones I can really think of that we've seen so far is Mystic and his husband, which is very much of a side thing, which we don't see much of their relationship together because we usually just see their dynamic with the group as a whole. And then Ampeg and her partner. Those are the only couples I can think of off the top of my head that I actually remember seeing them as couples in this series. Um, Despite Agrel and Lughari, which I do think were in love. But Dozy is just she just gives me those vibes. You know how you might see a character on TV and be like, I headcanon them as lesbian, gay, asexual, aromantic, doesn't matter what. And for whatever reason, sometimes they don't even have to be a reason. Sometimes you just look at them, it's like, yeah, there's no way you're gonna be in a relationship. And that's kind of how the vibes Dozy gives me. Like she's just comfortable being alone and being by herself, and she loves being surrounded by her friends and this found family she has founded since book one. But she would never want to be in something more. Like she loves this found family. She would do anything to protect them. Like she was very protective of Agrel, and she's very protective a lot of Alaya and everybody else that she has found in this found family. She would do anything for them. She's definitely the protective one, I would say. Like by far, she's definitely the most protective of the group, for sure. Especially Agrel, I feel like she was always. I love their dynamic. I mean, I love the trio between the two of them and Alaya. Um, but I also really love the dynamic just by Dozy and Agrel because the two of them meet closer to the beginning before they meet Alaya, and I just love how protective Dozy is of Agrel. Like the minute she sees Agrel, she knows she doesn't belong. She knows something is different about her, and even after she finds out that with her past, she was kind of in a cult that's hated, but she didn't know what the cult really was, and that's why until recently, which is why she ran away. So it's not really on her, like, and she didn't judge her like immediately. And every time somebody would find out, she was very protective of Agrel. And throughout the entire book one, she's like she basically adopted her as her little sister. That's kind of the dynamic they had in book one, I swear. But yeah, I see not Agril, Dozy as AroAce, and I can see her like 10 years from now, if everyone else were married or whatever, if they wanted to get married or in a relationship of some sort, that she would just not be, and she would be like the cool, fun aunt of everybody's kids. Like I can see that. I really can. Um, but yeah, so I see Dozy as AroAce, and nobody can tell me otherwise. She's an icon. She is so fun to read about, and book four will be coming out soon. I better read it, so I already read it before it even came out. And it's amazing, and I cannot wait for book five. So yeah, definitely check out this series. It's called the Mantis Gland. Book one is the Mantis variant. If you want to check it out, highly recommend it for all these amazing characters. Like I said, Agro is definitely my favorite from book one, and I definitely saw something between her and Lahari. Then Dozy's also one of my favorites. So is Alaya and so many other characters. Like all these characters are just amazing. It's really hard to choose which ones are your favorites because you just love them all. And yeah, so definitely check it out, and maybe you'll get the same vibes as I did. So I will chat with you guys below in the comments. Until next time.